Reporter Jason Tathia, I understand there's been a shootout that has taken place between police and criminals north of Durban. I suspect the area is up in Inanda from the reports I can see.
They were feared, ruthless, and deeply embedded in KwaZulu-Natal's criminal underworld. But in 2025, the South African Police Service declared war on the West Gang and won. This is the story of how SAPS tracked, hunted, and took down the notorious gang leader Mnqobi Nzimande, ending a reign of terror in Durban's townships. Mnqobi Nzimande was a name that struck fear in the communities of Inanda, Ntuzuma, and KwaMashu, known as the Inke area in KwaZulu-Natal. In his early 20s, Mnqobi had already built a chilling reputation as the mastermind behind the West Gang, a violent criminal syndicate responsible for extortion, murder, robbery, and more. SAPS had him on their radar for a long time. He was wanted for more than 20 serious crimes, including at least 10 murders. But Mnqobi always seemed one step ahead, until SAPS decided to go all in. The West Gang controlled parts of northern Durban like a paramilitary force. They used fear, murder, and intimidation to rule the streets. Local businesses were extorted, community leaders silenced, and rival gangs wiped out. Police intelligence linked the gang to gruesome crimes, including targeted assassinations and ambushes. The gang was not just a criminal network, it was a domestic terror operation. SAPS understood that dismantling the West Gang meant removing its brain, Mnqobi Nzimande. By late 2024, SAPS had intensified its anti-gang strategy. Intelligence units gathered data on Mnqobi's movements, hideouts, and associates. Surveillance operations were launched in the Verulam and Cottonlands areas, where the gang was believed to be regrouping. It was dangerous work. Officers were ambushed, raids failed, but SAPS didn't stop. They assembled tactical response teams, deployed helicopters, and monitored Mnqobi's inner circle closely. The operation had one goal: neutralize the gang's leadership. On a quiet morning in January 2025, SAPS finally moved in. Acting on a tip-off, officers surrounded a safe house in Verulam, near Cottonlands. Inside was Mnqobi and several of his armed associates. When police breached the property, a fierce shootout erupted. According to reports, Mnqobi opened fire, refusing to surrender. The standoff didn't last long. Within minutes, SAPS operatives fatally shot the West Gang leader. Several others were wounded or arrested. It was the end of an era, but not the end of the war. News of Mnqobi's death spread like wildfire. His funeral, held in Inanda, was a security nightmare. SAPS deployed a heavy police presence to prevent retaliatory attacks or gang displays of force. While the community was divided, some mourned, others celebrated. SAPS stood firm. There were allegations of excessive force from the family, who claimed police disrupted rituals and harassed mourners. But SAPS maintained it was a necessary show of strength to prevent further violence. It sent a clear message: the era of gang impunity was over. With the leader gone, SAPS knew the gang would splinter. Internal power struggles erupted. Rival factions fought for control. And the violence didn't stop, but SAPS was ready. In the months that followed, they conducted multiple operations across Durban. In Mnqobi, police responded to a gang shootout. 2 were unalived, others captured. In Umlazi, SAPS took down 4 suspected gang members linked to recent killings. In La Mercy, 3 more were unalived in a shack after opening fire on police. And in Inanda, another police-led ambush resulted in the deaths of 3 high-ranking members. Each operation chipped away at the gang's power and reach. The community reaction was mixed. For years, people in INK lived in fear of the West Gang. Many welcomed the police clampdown, seeing it as long overdue justice. Others worried about the use of force, especially during funerals and house raids. Civil rights groups called for investigations, but SAPS stood by their actions. The bottom line: gang activity in the area has decreased, and communities are beginning to breathe again. The presence of SAPS has grown stronger, and their message is clear: crime will not be tolerated. Mnqobi Nzimande may have thought he was untouchable, but SAPS proved otherwise. His death marked the collapse of a criminal empire built on blood, fear, and power. What followed was a textbook dismantling of a gang structure. SAPS used intelligence, tactical coordination, and sheer determination to wipe out one of KZN's most dangerous syndicates. It was a victory not just for law enforcement, but for the people of KwaZulu-Natal. The story of how SAPS took down Mnqobi Nzimande and the West Gang is a powerful reminder. No matter how powerful a criminal seems, justice can still prevail. Thank you for watching. If you want more deep dives into Africa's underworld and the forces fighting against it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, stay informed, stay alert, and stay safe.